Hello, Lenawee County. My name is Bryan Vish, and here's what's happening this week in Lenawee.
Accurate, dependable, and late-breaking. This is local and state news on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Lenawee County farmer Daniel Rinkvist has been named one of the 4 finalists of the 2026 Michigan Farm Bureau Young Farmer Agricultural Leader Award. Rinkvist farms 500 acres of corn, soybeans, and hay, while also operating an excavation business handling drainage, pond maintenance, and fence line cleanup. He said building an independent farming operation has been one of the biggest accomplishments for him. Finalists receive cash and apparel, while the statewide winner will be announced later and receive additional prizes, including travel to a National Farm Bureau conference. Adrian firefighters were honored this past Monday after helping save a newborn during a difficult home birth last December. Fire Chief A.J. Armstrong said crews delivered the baby after the birth did not go as planned.
Back in December, I had a challenging incident where we had a home birth that didn't go as planned, and because of that, we were able to successfully deliver the baby and had a positive outcome with that in that process. Once the baby was born, it wasn't breathing, didn't have a heartbeat. We were able to resuscitate that baby, and I believe it spent about a week in the hospital and made it home.
City Administrator Chad Paws said an emergency room physician told him responders did an outstanding job and likely saved the life of the child.
When this first came across my desk, what I took note of as a city administrator is to hear from our fire chief that the emergency room physician said they did an outstanding job to the point where they rarely would have that same outcome, and based on their actions likely saved the life of a little baby. So this isn't a run-of-the-mill situation, it's an extraordinary outcome here.
Armstrong said it was a full team effort helping both the baby and frantic mother.
Yeah, this is hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime incident that we had to deal with. It wasn't a singular person, it was the crew coming together. As most of you know, in childbirth you have the child and also the mother, who obviously is frantic as well. Everyone did a great job from top to bottom to lead to a successful outcome of that incident.
The crew received a life-saving award from the city. Michigan voters will decide this November whether to authorize a constitutional convention that could rewrite or amend the state constitution. Proposal 1 asks voters if delegates should be elected to review the document and propose changes on issues ranging from taxes and education policy to environmental protections and government structure. If approved, delegates would later be elected to begin the process. Michigan State University law professor Quinn Yergin says voters should understand the risks and unknowns before casting a ballot. Voters have rejected similar proposals in Michigan in 1978, 94, and 2010. The current state constitution has been in place since 1963. The Home Builders Association of Jackson, Hillsdale, and Lenawee County has received multiple national grant awards from the National Association of Home Builders for membership growth. The local association earned top honors in both numerical growth and percentage growth, placing it among leading home builders groups nationwide. Executive Officer Patrick O'Dowd says the recognition reflects strong regional membership and partnerships across all 3 counties. The association says it will continue workforce and community outreach efforts, including Career Day events May 1st in Jackson and May 7th at the LISD Tech Center in Adrian. Tecumseh residents will soon see changes to their water and sewer bills. The Tecumseh City Council on Monday approved changes in the water and sewer rates for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027. At the recommendation of City Manager Brett Coker, water rates will decrease by 50 cents per 1,000 gallons and sewer rates will increase by 38 cents per 1,000 gallons. Residents can expect to see their bill decrease by $3.06 per quarter for a combined 1.01% decrease. However, readiness to serve charges applied as flat fees to each meter will increase to $9.79 for water readiness and $12.32 for sewer readiness. Coker noted that Tecumseh's water and sewer rates would remain competitive, with rates being lower than 2/3 of similar-sized municipalities across Michigan. The rate changes were approved by the City Council in a unanimous vote and are available for viewing at tecumseh.civicweb.net. I'm at Tuckey's Big Boy in Tecumseh, where crews recently wrapped up repair work and the restaurant reopened ahead of schedule. I spoke with Cheryl Tuckey about the project, what it took to complete the upgrades, and what customers can expect now that one of Lenawee County's longtime dining staples is back in full operation.
A year or so ago, we discovered we had a hole in the main drain here running through the building. So my plumber for years kept telling me, cast iron lasts 50 years, and we are at 48 and a half. And usually you have to replace it. So here we are.
Big Boy reopened after closing temporarily for major plumbing repairs tied to the restaurant's main drain system.
Normally I would have done that more in February when we're naturally slower, but because we had to go through the entire building and out into the outside, it had to have no frost. So that's why we waited until April, and then they're like, just to be on the safe side, we better close 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, 2 weeks is a long time for, for my staff especially. I mean, it's like 1.5 feet at the dish room level, but by the time you get to the outside, it's a 5-foot hole they had to dig. And then we, as a few of my staff members, picked projects we wanted to do that we could, as long as we weren't in their way, we could do while they were doing what they needed to do. But so we totally did the greenhouse. It's all new booths and tabletops and laminate, and it looks really nice out there. And we put some tables and chairs in there because we never have enough places to put 12 people. And so we added another 12 top, which we can do. So now we have at least 4 12 tops that we can have going on at the same time.
The project did see some unexpected hiccups, but were able to recover quickly.
Then we had all new electrical. That was a little surprise improvement because when they cut the floor, they cut my power. So to my kitchen and my server aisle. So we also have new electrical for that. So I know way more about electrical than I ever wanted to.
The work was expected to take longer, but the restaurant reopened ahead of schedule.
I said, nobody wants to work the weekend, right, guys? The construction guys, nope. Because I said, then let's push and we can be open on Saturday and Sunday as long as we're able to get the place clean and all the food prepped and ready to open. So that last Friday, we all worked till, late.
Good team effort to get ready to go.
Absolutely. So because I said, the construction guys, everything was pretty much on target for them. We could do it. But it was a lot of work those last few days before we opened, but we did it. And I went home on Saturday after work and had a nap. Which I never do. But I took a nap.
For many in Lenawee County, Tuckey's Big Boy is more than a restaurant. It's a longtime local landmark, now back serving the community once again.
Oh, they're awesome on Saturday because, as soon as we knew we could open, we're like putting it out there that we're going to be open. And they all said, we miss you. There's nobody like your staff. There's, and it's just because we've waited on them for so long. We know what they like. And I mean, seriously, I can walk down the street and say, over easy bacon, wheat toast, strawberry jelly, because people are that consistent. And it's such a blessing. We have a great community. I mean, our customers are awesome. Doesn't matter what restaurant comes into town. They don't have 48 years of knowing these people. And so we have had nothing but positive all weekend. It's been really nice, very nice. Makes you feel good.
Little Mews Rescue in Adrian is not closing. The local cat rescue says it's not shutting their doors, and officials are clarifying rumors tied to earlier confusion about the organization's needs. Founder and director Donna Olson says the nonprofit remains open and continues caring for cats, but still needs help finishing renovations at its facilities. The group has been converting a former electrician's shop into a rescue space and says more work remains.
When we bought this building, we had to transform it from an electrical shop to a cat rescue. And we've had to do plumbing, we've had to do electric. We've had to build walls, we've had to take down walls. We've had to replace the water system because our well went. And so we could use around $150,000 to continue the renovations. We still have to build more walls. We have to finish plumbing. We have to finish electrical. We have some roof work that has to be done. It's going to take a lot before this is totally complete as a cat rescue. And it's work in progress.
That was founder and director Donna Olson. If you'd like to help Little Mews reach their goal of $150,000, you can donate through the rescue's website at littlemews.org or by using PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, or by mailing a check to the organization. Residents used the April 20th Adrian City Commission meeting to challenge how the city handles delinquent utility and property-related assessments. During public hearings, multiple speakers said they were billed late or charged unfairly or unable to get answers after contacting City Hall. One complaint centered on water and sewer charges, with residents saying invoices arrived too late to be paid on time before penalties or assessments were considered. Commissioners asked staff to review the concerns. Another resident said repeated attempts to resolve the issue through normal channels went unanswered, raising broader concerns about communication and accountability. Another complaint came from Adrian resident Josh Burkhart, who questioned a snow and ice assessment tied to his property. Burkhart said he believed the charge was issued without enough communication and asked city officials to review the circumstances. His comments added to the broader pattern of residents raising concerns over notice, billing timelines, and how enforcement decisions are made. Snow and ice billing drew criticism as well. One speaker questioned whether proper notice was given before costs were added to the assessment process. City Administrator Chad Baugh said staff would look into the complaint and report back to the commissioners. Despite the objections, the commission moved forward with the public hearing process. The meeting highlighted continuing frustration from some residents over billing transparency, response times, and how city charges are enforced. We will continue to follow the story as it develops and city officials have a chance to look into the matter.
Construction has officially commenced on Palmyra Township's new fire department. Officials held a groundbreaking ceremony Saturday at the site of the Township Hall, which will be expanded to house a 4-bay facility measuring 100 feet by 60 feet. Township Supervisor Dave Pixley says that the replacement of the old fire station was the result of over half a decade of planning and a necessity in improving response times for the fire department.
Well, we've been planning this for about 5.5 years now, trying to come up with the funds and everything to do this. Our current station was built in the mid-1940s, back when we still had Model Ts for fire equipment. The equipment we have nowadays will not fit in the station we have now. We're really due for a new ambulance, but the ambulances that they build now are on truck chassis instead of van chassis, and a truck chassis will not fit in the station that we currently have. So we had to come up with something that was in a decent enough spot to allow us to get personnel in and out of the station, which that's part of the problem with where we're at now. When we get semis lined up in front of our station, we can't get our firefighters in, and we can't get equipment out because they're all waiting at the stop sign to get out on 223. That really hinders us getting on the road in a timely manner. So it's going to mean a lot to the community in all aspects of how long it takes us to get on the scene, how long it takes us to get people to the station, things like that.
Work on the fire station will continue without additional costs to taxpayers. I'm Dallas Behringer for 103.9 WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
WLEN's first Cause for Paws pet supply drive connected listeners, local businesses, and animal welfare groups across Lenawee County.
We love helping out charities in any way that we can, but a Cause for Paws, we felt really connected to that because we have a dog. We're a huge dog, and I mean, we don't own cats, but dog and cat lovers, you know, they need the support and the help, and without people like us and WLEN Q95, everyone else
anyone else that donated too.
Yeah, everyone else that stepped in to help, you know, these dogs and cats, they've got nobody and they've got nothing.
Donations were collected during the community event at Country Market on US 223 in Blissfield and at the Deal Depot on Maumee Street here in downtown Adrian.
I think when we started this too, like that was one thing him and I talked about, like we wanted to donate to those facilities that help out the animals. Like that was our main like go-to.
Residents dropped off pet food, litter, toys, cleaning supplies, and other needed items for area organizations.
Little Mews Rescue is a cat rescue. We take care of cats in Lenawee County and surrounding Lenawee County.
It impacts a lot of things. The food that we can feed our animals, we will, and the food that our animals don't eat, we put in our food bank, and it helps the community.
Oh, it's wonderful. I mean, we've got 2 buildings of kitties. One is the leukemia building, which there aren't very many of those around in a lot of areas. If a kitty has the feline leukemia, they just have to put them down, but here they can live normal lives. And then we have another building that's adoptable kitties.
Being able to look at the whole family when we're looking at resources, and that includes pets. And for some families, a pet is an emotional support animal for them. So looking at loneliness and depression. So we care about the people we serve and their families, and that includes their pets. We're so grateful for this contribution. It will make a big difference for folks. It also can save financially. When people are going through hard times, sometimes a pet is the first sacrifice. And so to be able to provide food during hard times can get someone through without having to rehome or surrender their animal. So we certainly appreciate the support.
This week, those donations were distributed to Ahimsa, Little Mews Rescue, and the Lenawee Humane Society.
Our community helps us, and then we in turn are able to go back and help our community. The people who are having a hard time, we're able to help bridge that gap for them for maybe like a 1 month. Our food bank is once a month. People can come, so that way it spreads it out to help everybody a little bit rather than just helping a few people a lot.
Representatives from each group said community donations help provide food, shelter, medical support, and daily care for animals while allowing rescues and shelters to continue serving pets in need across Lenawee County.
We actually don't get any outside funding. We get no government funding, so all of our support comes from our community through donations, monetary donations, and then in-kind donations like this. So by not forcing us to use cash to pay for these donations, not only is it helping us and setting us up for weeks at a time with these supplies, but it also helps us with other grant funding. So like when we go to apply for grants, they're like, okay, so how is your community also supporting you? And then we have a way to show them. So not only are you helping today, but you're helping in the future as well.
You know, we have 10 pigs currently that call the rescue home, and we have lots of chickens, and we have 3 turkeys, and we have a peacock and 2 rabbits and a turtle, and so we've got a lot of living things out there. So it's wonderful. All the donations are wonderful.
We could use all the support from the community we can. We're a nonprofit, a 501c3. We're all volunteer, and every single thing we get goes towards the cats and helps feed the cats, helps, you know, we go through tons of kitty litter and food, and it just helps us out tremendously.
Like your pet's like something like one of your family, your children, or you know, and then children are also having hard times as well, making sure they have enough to eat. So it's considered like the same thing like with me. Not everybody thinks of it that way, but it's a big deal that the pets are able to eat. And we had others donated over the winter time, and that was a big deal to make sure that they had something over the winter to eat. And it does make a big difference. And then the hardships that people are going through and not to be able to afford as much, and sacrificing on pet food as well, and other things, the kitty litter and all the other stuff goes along with it.
For us, instead of just putting a Band-Aid over things and just taking animals because people can't afford to feed them, by having a pet food bank, we're able to keep more animals out of our shelter. And in fact, last year, we helped more animals in our community than we took into our shelter. So these donations are huge, not only for us, but literally for the entire community.
And that'll wrap it up for us this week in Lenawee. I'm Bryan Vish for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.